I want to give a short message to my team. I know that everyone on the team has read Ann Sieg's Renegade Network Marketer, and that's great. But there's another book. If you haven't had a chance to read it, you have to read it. Now, here's my analogy to this. I don't know how many of you remember this old commercial, but many years ago there was a commercial where a guy's walking down the street, and he's got a jar of peanut butter in his hand, and he's walking along, and he's getting ready to turn the corner around a building here, and on the other side of the building, coming down the street, is a guy, and he has the the candy bar in his hand, the chocolate bar, and as these guys come around the corner together, they collide, and the chocolate goes into the peanut butter, and some of the peanut butter gets on the chocolate, and they look like, oh my gosh, we just collided, what have we done? And they both eat the chocolate and peanut butter mixture, and they go, wow, this is fantastic, this is great, this collision is really, caused something great to happen. And I think the analogy is appropriate, at least for me, when after reading the Renegade Network Marketer by Ann Sieg, and I guess that could be the peanut butter part of the equation, and then having read the 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss, when I take the ideas and strategies from both these and brought them together, it was just, to me it's just incredible. I started implementing ideas and strategies from both of these into my business, and I'm just loving it. I'll tell you, knowing, for instance, that you can actually be attracting people into your network marketing business via the internet, 24/7, internationally, it's an amazing thing. And I do have people contacting me today from all over the world who want to learn more about the business that I'm in. And I'm building that funnel. I'm attracting people via the internet. And of course there are other strategies within the Renegade Network Marketer. But what I'm finding is that all the strategies that are outlined, all the things you can learn to do to build those funnels to attract people, are things that, as Tim Ferriss puts, once you basically learn how those things are done, you can outsource a lot of that work, because you don't really need to do everything yourself. You don't need to be an expert web developer. You don't need to be an expert article writer or an expert copywriter. You don't need to understand every nuance of every skill set that's required to attract people. Now, you do need to know enough about it to know what to look for and what to ask for, but don't get all hung up in trying to be an expert at everything. It's kind of like if you were going to move into a new house and someone says, well, to build a new house, here's what you do. You have to understand how to be an architect, and how to do the blueprints to put the house on paper and how you're going to build it, and then you're going to have to be a carpenter, because you're going to put the walls up. And there are courses and we can teach how to do that, so that's okay. Just pay for this course and you can learn how to put up walls. And then after that, you're going to need some electrical, so and you can do it yourself. So you can build this whole thing yourself, and you can be an electrician and a plumber and a roofer, and you can learn all those things. But it's like, why? You don't need to understand all those things. You just want a house built. And as long as you understand what to ask for, you can hire it out to the expert. And the same thing with building a website, or to build your funnel or your attraction marketing. It's really good to understand how it all works and how the pieces fit together. But in the end, why spend all your time being the expert? Go find the expert and go out to like Elance, and you say, I'm looking for someone who can help me with a website, who can help me with an article, and this is the specifications, this is the requirements, this is what I need to have done. And someone will respond to you, and you can have it done probably in a fraction of the time that it would take you, and at a reasonable cost, And it just makes sense. I mean, let's face it, if you were to build your own house, how long would it take? It would take a long time, because you have to become an expert. And it probably wouldn't be built very well because it's your first time learning to do a lot of those skills. And we all know that you become better at something the more you do it. So if this is going to be your first attempt at building a house, or in the case of the internet, building your websites or your funnels to attract people to you, if it's your first time, it's probably not going to be very good because you're just learning. So learn what it takes to build a good internet funnel, a good attraction strategy, but then hire it out. As Tim Ferriss says, you go out and you outsource your life, you outsource your business, you hand it over to the experts, you bring in people who are smarter than you, and you have it done for you. So, and that's just one aspect of this. I mean, there's another aspect that Tim talks about and Ann talks about that I agree with completely. It's monetizing your business, monetizing. Tim calls it creating a muse, where you build a system that pays you with you hands off. It just pays you every month, and you don't have to think about it. You don't have to touch it. It's a little money machine. And Ann talks about doing the same thing to help generate revenue, so you can build the online marketing system that you need to bring in leads. And obviously, there's a lot of different things you can do to create this monetization. And Ann goes in and talks a little bit about AdSense. And Tim does the same thing. He talks about Google's AdWords and AdSense and how those things can generate revenue for you. And I'm very excited about that because I've been using AdSense for some time, and it helps my business today. Today, I have 50, that's 50, I have 50 websites that bring in revenue via AdSense. Now, what I want to let my team know, and for those people who are maybe interested in looking at becoming a member of our team, is there's going to be an opportunity for our team and anyone on the team to actually do what I'm doing. And if you are looking to maybe get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 websites, and you want to put your AdSense on those sites, but you don't want any hands-on, you don't want to understand how to put the sites together, you don't want to write the articles, just as I was saying a minute ago, you don't want to build the house. That's great, because I've taken care of that, and it's really exciting news. I'm not going to get into it right here, all the details, but just to say this: if you're interested